Right then, give myself a nice early start this morning. It's now currently 6:45 after finishing packing all my bags onto my bike. Today we're riding on what's probably the most famous cycle ride in all of Japan, because anytime you would search like Japan cycling or cycling in Japan or whatever it is, this usually comes up near the top or at the top, and that is the Shimanami Kaido. And I also think that because rolling into Ominichi yesterday was by far the most amount of cycle tourists I've seen so far. Because I've seen like a handful so far over the 2 weeks, but yesterday was like at least 2 handfuls in just one afternoon. And I think it's going to be quite interesting to see how hard this ride's going to be for me, because personally I wouldn't consider a 75-kilometer cycling course to be that hard or daunting. But obviously, like a lot of general tourist advice for like someone who doesn't cycle quite regularly for me is like take at least 2 days to do it, because you know it's a bit of a steadier pace and you get to see more of the sights around. But I'm someone who's probably just going to plow through it quite quickly, so it'll be interesting. From what I've seen as well, I think the majority of the climbing on the ride is going to be just getting up to these bridges, so it'll be interesting to see how much elevation I actually end up doing. Yeah, you can tell I'm on the more traffic cycling course compared to the one a couple of days ago, because to get up to the bridges, the slopes seem to be a lot more gradual. So, you know, taking that into consideration, if it's the same for all of them, and it should be quite a smooth ride today. I'm looking forward to this. Yeah, why do I have to be travelling during political season? Can't escape these cars with the megaphones. They're everywhere. It's never mattered how rural you are, how out in the sticks you are or anything, they're just always there, lurking round the corner, waiting. Thinking about it now, I don't really know why I started this so bloody early, because I could go for a second coffee now, but all the cafes are still shut, so it's a bit of a bummer. But it's been absolutely lovely so far, but I am going through this at quite a high average speed, and I'm just not realising I'm getting through it so fast. I should probably slow down and appreciate it a bit more. Yeah, I guess a conveni coffee will have to do it. And I'll tell you what, like, breaking news update from my video like many months ago now is that Lawson is now my #1 conveni over 7-Eleven. Sorry 7-Eleven, Lawson is my new best friend. Don't know if you caught that sign there, but it says Cyclist Sanctuary's coming up. It's building a bit of hype, isn't it? Turns out the Cycling Sanctuary is a stone statue right by the sea, which is pretty hype because it makes for a really good photo. And it is right next to a Michinoeki, which I thought was going to guarantee me a good choice of food, but the place that sells fresh ice cream is closed for another hour, which is absolutely tragic if you ask me. So to go along with my matcha latte, I've got a nice little strawberry ice bar from the souvenir shop. And to be fair, it is just hitting the spot just right now. And again, you can tell this is the most popular cycling route in all of Japan, because this is the most people I've seen on bikes in a very short stretch of time. And it's probably not even hit peak time yet, considering some of the restaurants in here aren't even open yet. with the time that I started this morning and the speed that I'm going through it, I should be done the course right around lunchtime, which is pretty ideal for a nice treat afterwards. I've still got to go a little bit further just to get to the place I'm camping, but I guess it gives me a lot of time because there's no power at this campsite. It's a free campsite, so it gives me plenty of time to eat, get supplies, charge some gear so I don't have to rely on my portable batteries too much. Should be a good time. Well, I'm guessing Imabari station is where it ends because the blue markings on the road have finished. Eee, what a ride, eh? And I can see now why it is so popular. I've definitely done shorter stretches that are nicer, but for a sustained like 75 to 80 kilometers, it's definitely hard to beat. And you know, there might be a couple of climbs in there that might be a bit tricky for non-cyclists, but I literally seen people of all fitness levels about, so it's very accessible as well. So if doing the Shimanami Kaido is something you were thinking about doing but weren't quite sure, I'd definitely recommend doing it. But I mean, looking at me, I am a bit biased. I was obviously going to have a lot of fun. But as for right now, I've just rocked up at Imabari Castle, so I'm going to go have a look around, take some footage of it, then go eat something, and then I'll probably talk to you again when I'm at camp, to be honest. And a bit of a hot take, like, I'm not really much of an onsen person at all. And it's not even the fact that I'm looking at like 10 other old age pensioners' cocks at the same time, you know? It's like, I barely bathe in private and I barely find that too relaxing anyway. I just want to get out as soon as I'm in. And that's pretty much what happens every time I'm in the onsen as well. I haven't been that many times, but I can never seem to get too relaxed in a bath really. Like, I shower and then I'm like, I kind of just want to leave now. But today I showered up before I got in and I was like, oh, I guess now that I'm here, I paid 650 yen in the 1 hour into. It was quite expensive, but it's the only one around. So I was like, oh, I better take a quick dip. So dipped in for a little bit, went out. And if looking at loads of old men's willies can't get me relaxed, then I don't know what will really. And we're going to the campsite by the beach here. And in this campsite, you didn't have to make any prior reservations. There's clean running water, toilets, pretty much everything you need except the shower, so it's a pretty good spot. So with all that said, I might as well turn the GoPro off now and preserve some battery power. Hopefully, fingers crossed, I get my first good night's sleep with camping. I have to wait and find out, but until tomorrow, catch you later. Well, I actually got some decent sleep in there, which is a nice surprise. Even though throughout the night, you can't really see it too much right now, but the wind really started picking up and seems like one of my pegs came out on this side of the door. But I feel like as I camp a little bit more and I'm getting a bit more used to it, it's getting a bit better. But today we're starting to ride east over Shikoku to a campsite I've forgotten the name of, in a place I've also forgotten the name of, so good. When you can find a road that's right next to the busy and most direct route to where you're going, and it's running the same way, but it's much more peaceful and scenic. Actually, I can't really say more scenic because the mountainscapes on the other side of the road there, they look very nice. But at least over here I don't have to worry about getting hit by a truck. seemingly one of those rides where I don't really have anything to add right now, apart from I'm having a lovely time looking at all these mountains. I will say that the wind has calmed down a little bit since last night, but I'm pretty much going straight into a headwind what looks like all day, so you know, that's not the most pleasant thing in the world, but when I'm taking the more scenic route, I think it'll be alright. Honestly, at this point I've still got no commentary to add, other than I'm still really enjoying the ride, and just look at these views. Picked a good route today, like. I guess I'm somewhere busy enough where I can go get a nice meal somewhere and do a bit of charging afterwards. That tonkatsu meal, 840 yen for a lunchtime set. Beautiful stuff. I was having a look on maps, and around the campground, within like 10 minutes walk, I can get to an onsen, a convenience store, a couple of restaurants, so it looks like I can go, set up, and then sort out everything afterwards, which is ideal really. Well, it's the thing about cycling here that if you try and avoid the main road long enough, you find yourself on a lovely, long, steep climb. Whew, tricky one this. Hey, well that was fun, but it's time to go straight back up again. And that was a long and pretty tricky climb, and this descent's been pretty good so far, but there's just enough headwind right now. Can't really see it on the flags, the wind has calmed down a little bit. But there's just enough headwind right now that I have to actually like put in some effort to go downhill, which makes this moment like, you know, when something's just so close to being perfect and it's not quite there? A little bit frustrating, but still. These mountain roads, even though I'm on the busy road now, these mountain roads are absolutely gorgeous. Well, I'm on the last little stretch now, and I've been to 3 combinis and none of them have a place to charge, but you know, not to worry too much. I will have enough power for tonight, and then, you know, if worst comes to worst, there's always going to be somewhere tomorrow. But I'm on the last, well, under 10k now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get there, set up, have a shower and a bath, and then I'll get back to you. To be honest with you, by the time I set up, went to the onsen, ate, and then got some supplies and came back, it's couldn't really be bothered to talk to the camera anymore, so I took a couple of little shots though of the campsite, and it's quite nice for a free campsite. And I'm a little bit away from the campsite now, but there's not really too many better areas to wake up to, is there? Also met a lovely fella named Kai, who's a keen gravel cyclist, who donated me a couple of packs of Haribo and a bottle of Coke, so that should keep me going throughout today. Big shout out to Kai. But today is my last day in Shikoku, which is a shame really, because it's been absolutely lovely. riding through all of this. But today's ride is going towards Tokushima, where we're then going to get the ferry to Wakayama, where we're going to have a rest day tomorrow. If I was able to cycle everywhere on small roads and paths that were like this, then I think life would be much happier in general. Following this river down at Tokushima has been proven absolutely delightful. Going along this river and through these mountains is really making me wish that I set aside more time to ride in Shikoku. Like, I'm not deciding where to sleep day by day. Got a few things booked ahead, you know, just how it is sometimes, but I am very glad I've decided to come through in the first place instead of continuing up Honshu. I'm starting to forget things already about this trip now, but I'm pretty sure this is the longest like flat path like this that I've been on throughout my entire journey so far. It's fucking brilliant. And you know, I might be looking at the timetable for the wrong direction, but with the pace that I'm going, I am going to have plenty of time in Tokushima for lunch. Probably about 45 minutes. Decent time to get a bowl in. And I say bowl because Kai recommended me to eat some udon while I'm here. I don't know if you meant as far out as Tokushima to where I was this morning. Maybe it's a Shikoku thing. Should have probably looked it up, but oh well. I do have to say that as of right now, udon is at the bottom of my kind of noodle soup dishes, noodle dishes, however you want to put it. A lot of the times I'm just not as much of a fan of the much thicker noodles. Find it a little bit trickier to eat. But if I was to put the ones in order that I've got in my head right now anyway, right now it's like 1A and 1B is maze soba and sukemen. It goes like either that one's the best or this one's the best, depending on whichever one I eat at the time. Like, I find them both unbelievable. Then underneath them we've got ramen, and then soba, and then udon. I think the bottom three could easily be moved around and shuffled about, depending on the quality of whatever restaurant I'm going to be fair. But I think the top two are pretty unchallenged. I've ate a lot of them. After having a Google, it doesn't seem like udon's a Tokushima thing specifically. It seems like it's more of a ramen place, and I think I'm going to skip that, to be honest. I feel like I've eaten way too much ramen. Oh well, it seems now I've taken too much time to look at my phone and being indecisive, so it looks like I'll probably just have to eat something by the port or on the ferry. Lovely. And there it is, lunch of shame. I'm in the digs in Wakayama for the next couple of nights now, and it's a really nice guest house actually. And tonight I've got this whole bunk room to myself, so I'm actually doing this little piece in the room and not have like 7 other people in their beds staring at me. And tomorrow's going to be a rest day, but after that we're going to start heading towards Ise in Mie Prefecture, going around the Kii Peninsula, so that's going to be about 6 days worth of riding, I think. But I can worry about that after I've had a few beers and I've had loads of food while I'm in Wakayama. And talking about that, bloody in Tokushima I was talking about how their speciality is ramen and I need to calm down on eating on that. Well, turns out speciality of Wakayama is also ramen, so I might wait until tomorrow until having that, but I guess I've got to have some while I'm here, don't I? But for now my stinky clothes are finished washing, so I'm going to go sort that out and I'm going to go eat because I'm getting bloody hungry. I'll catch you later.